Young, handsome, and seemingly well-spoken, Girah doesn't fit the profile of your stereotypical villain. But then again, the most cunning hustlers often work hard to maintain an impeccable image. The Girah propaganda machine worked wonders at first. "I am José, the so-called Portuguese poker prodigy," was one of Macedo's opening lines in his first 2+2 post. Macedo laid out the story behind his incredible rise through the online cash game ranks in the thread. Starting with a 30-pound bankroll, Macedo grinded his way up to 2 NL to 200 NL in just a few months. At that point, José said that he discussed playing techniques with several poker pros. Macedo would regularly visit 2+2 and discuss the posts and comments on the threads of top players like Dan Cates, Ben Sulsky, and Hasib Qureshi. Macedo eventually reached out to these players on Skype, building a strong bond with Qureshi and Cates. By March of 2011, José unveiled his identity in his first 2+2 post and showed his profit table, which had nearly more than $1.6 million in cash game winnings. But to some 2+2 members, this story seemed too good to be true. Just hours after the lengthy introduction of Girah to 2+2, forum members began to suspect that Girah was actually a fictitious creation of Hasib Qureshi and Dan Cates. But the haters were lesser than the believers, and most people believed on Girah's story and hailed him as a prodigy. Macedo's fame began to grow bigger and bigger, and the then 18-year-old landed sponsorships with Lock Poker and Poker Strategy. By April of 2011, he was challenging Tom Dwan to play in a round of the Dirt Challenge, a series which pitted Dwan in high-stakes heads-up matches against top poker pros. Macedo had seemingly reached the pinnacle of poker. By August 2011, the Macedo myth began to unravel. 2+2 poster MossBoss started a thread detailing a heads-up strategy Skype group started by Macedo. In a post exposing the scam, MossBoss outlined how Macedo had encouraged other members of a high-stakes heads-up study group on Skype to play against an aggro fish on iPoker by the name Sauron1989 for stakes up to 5,100, while allowing him to sweat to their play and watch them online over screen sharing. In spite of Macedo's claim that Sauron1989 was a bad player, members on the group regularly lost 5-figure sums to the supposed poker whale in single sessions. The first victim, ImFromSweden, was convinced to play 1020 and lost over $10,000. 10 days later, MossBoss also played Sauron1989 and lost over $20,000 at 2550 over 2 sessions. Suspecting something was wrong during the matches against Sauron1989, MossBoss began to inspect the Skype chat logs with Macedo that took place during the games. He voiced his concerns to 2Curioso1, another player in the group, and the two proceeded to work hard to dig up evidence to prove this. Upon closer inspection, MossBoss realized that Sauron1989 would often disconnect from iPoker at the same time Macedo would log off Skype. He soon witnessed that whenever José would disconnect from Skype, Sauron1989 would sign out from the iPoker lobby and would sign back in when José reconnected to Skype. This happened 3 times in 20 minutes, and all the 3 times both José's Skype and Sauron's logged out at the same time. During their attempts to find more evidence, it became clear that José was also operating under the username of $Man223 on the merged network. He scammed 2Curioso1 for $900 and appeared to be setting up another member of the group for a further scam on 5,100, which they anticipated would be his biggest scam yet. One of the two voiced their concerns to the rest of the group, and it became apparent that José was setting up quite a few of them for a scam. MossBoss later stated that Macedo agreed to pay back more than $30,000 in ill-gotten gains from the whole card scandal. Macedo's sponsorships with Lock Poker and Poker Strategy were revoked. The biggest question is, why? Why would a hotshot with over $1.5 million in online winnings and sponsorship and coaching contracts on the horizon risk everything for a few buy-ins? Macedo claims to have been helping a friend who was in a bad financial situation, but why couldn't Macedo have given him the money himself? People will continue to speculate as to whether Girah, aka Macedo, was involved in a larger cheating circle or if the results he posted were just a sham. But this was just the beginning. The strangest details of the rise and fall of Girah were just about to come to light. Many 2+2 members closely associated Girah with Dan Cates and Hasib Qureshi throughout Macedo's meteoric rise through the poker ranks. Forum posts from Cates and Qureshi seemed to hype up the Portuguese poker prodigy in the months before Macedo revealed his identity on 2+2. Following Macedo's cheating admission in the Skype scandal, José Qureshi took to the forums to apparently set the record straight on his and Cates' association with José Macedo, aka Girah. In a 7,000-word post, José Qureshi explained his own admission of the scandalous activity in the poker world. José Qureshi met José around February of 2010. He approached Qureshi for coaching and was referred to Jungleman. Around December 2010, José was seeking out a staking plus coaching deal and he contacted several people including José Qureshi. Daniel Cates and Qureshi agreed to stake José and to go halves on it. They wrote up a contract and it was executed by all three parties. Qureshi admits to being slow and lazy about getting backing funds into Macedo's log poker account. For this period of time, he mostly played lowish mid-stakes. At around the beginning of March 2011, José Qureshi helped José to write a story which was posted in his I Am Girah thread. José provided the information, facts, and his rudimentary story. José rewrote the story using the facts he gave. José's career and popularity soon began to grow. In April 2011, after Black Friday, Jungleman and Qureshi finally got around to getting José staking money together. Qureshi got $100,000 from his bank account onto his Use My Wallet, and from his Use My Wallet to the account named Sam Chauhan on Lock Poker. This account was in José Qureshi's name. They did not want to do a bank transfer because José's bank account was in his mother's name, and both Jungle and Qureshi felt more comfortable giving it to him on the public Girah account that they knew was traceable directly to him. After the money got verified and landed on Lock Poker, they tried to transfer it directly onto José's account, but the account could not be cleared for such a large transfer. They asked José if he could do anything, talk to the Lock Poker people to get it through, but he told both Qureshi and Cates that the only option was to chip dump him the money. Believing that Lock Poker wasn't a track network, they saw no problem with it. Qureshi chip dumped José $100,000 using the Sam Chauhan account. A couple of days later, Jungleman was bored and unable to play on any sites due to Black Friday. José offered to let Jungle use his account if he let José watch. Jungleman agreed to it and played at first through TeamViewer on José's screen, at first telling José what to do and then trying to click the buttons himself. But when it proved too laggy and a pain to use, José gave Jungle his password and let him play on the account on his own computer. He played some PLO and no limit over a couple of days, and he lost money net. The ghosting from Jungleman led to Macedo's disqualification from the Bluff Challenge, a promotion on Lock Poker that tracked the biggest winner on the site and awarded a spot on the cover of Bluff magazine. Lock Poker detected a login from an outside IP address into the Girah account, leading to the disqualification. At this time, Lock Poker was not aware of the chip dump. José Qureshi knew that the person playing on this account was Jungleman. They deliberated about what to write and decided to say that a backer logged into his account while he was asleep and played some poker on his computer. After that, José's career took a hit. Jungleman mostly lost money on José's account, so no one else had lost out financially. José had been disqualified, so the chip dump would not make a difference to his standing in the competition, and they thought it closed the door on all of the scandal and were somewhat relieved. Later in the 2+2 post, José Qureshi admits that Daniel Cates played on Qureshi's Sam Chauhan account weeks later. The real truth behind one of poker's most bizarre cheating scandals might never truly be known. Daniel Cates did 2 interviews after the scandal. In the interviews conducted by Vanessa Selbst and Noah Stephens, Dan Cates first stated that he had no significant relationship with Macedo. The second interview, however, comes after Cates' publicist contacted Subject Poker and stated that Jungleman wants to come clean about some of the details of the multi-accounting scandal. The major revelation that exposes previous lies is that José Qureshi had not been the individual who played 2550 on the Sam Chauhan account and who dumped $100,000 to Girah. It was Daniel Cates himself. According to Daniel Cates, José Qureshi was trying to take the fall for both of them, knowing his own reputation was damaged beyond repair anyway. Thus, Qureshi said he was the one who played. In reality, Daniel Cates made use of the fact that the Sam Chauhan account was down $100,000 and would look like a fish to anyone who looked it up. He then played on the account, although he apparently lost most money in his few sessions on it. Finally, when Macedo was playing on the Girah account at 5100, Jungleman was sweating him and telling him what to do. According to Daniel Cates, when he took over the 50-100 match, his opponent got super nitty and quit soon after. While he did not seem to make the connection, it is quite possible that Girah's Portuguese opponent and Girah were essentially funneling money from Daniel Cates. Ashton Griffin, a former roommate and friend of Haseeb Qureshi, said Daniel was so far influenced by Haseeb's lies that Daniel himself was brainwashed by Haseeb's plan. Daniel is not a bad person. Daniel was certainly instructed by Haseeb on how to act in this scandal. Of course, that advice was not in Daniel's best interest. Macedo and Qureshi disappeared from the poker world after the scandal. Macedo popped back up in poker news headlines in 2014 after launching a cleaning service in the United Kingdom. This video is powered by Bluff the Spot, the best place to learn how to win at poker from actual high-stake coaches like MMA Sherdog. Check the link in the description. And if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.